Hello guys, and happy Tuesday. And it is almost July. Let me put some lotion on my hands. I'll be right back. This Bodycology, game changer. I absolutely love this brand. Like, it's just so moisturizing. But I haven't been on here in a while. I promise it's not because of any type of negligence or anything of that nature. But, this series is called, Burnout series. So what's a burnout series without being actually burned out? But I want to talk to you because in realizing that you're burned out, I do want to talk about things that, that I had to wait until a friend pointed out and then I denied it. And then when I came full circle and realized what the problem is, then, I was restored back to life. So without further ado, the Burnout series. Ooh, okay, we're gonna put this back on. This feels so good. All right, so let's talk about it. One of the ways that I've been trying to recover from burnout is having a hard real life conversation about your spending habits. I can guarantee you that the stuff that you have in your closet, in your bathroom, is a result directly from overconsumption to some degree. I'll tell you where mine came from. So as a result of burnout and being too tired to do anything and in a freeze state, what did I do? I doom scrolled like my life depended on it. And so as a result of doom scrolling, all I did was be attracted to that dopamine hit of something new, something that's innovative, something that I liked, something that I really wanted. And it didn't matter if I spent a portion of my rent or a portion of my bills. It did not matter. What mattered is that I fulfilled that dopamine hit of feeling good about what I bought. So now I love me some Ulta and I love me some Sephora, but it just had to come to a point where I had to say to myself, like, nah, Patrice, this is excessive. Like excessive. Okay. And realizing that me buying that way was essentially a coping mechanism of me being burned out was the first step that I realized that I was burned out. And I denied it. However, my good friend, pointed it out when I was in Ulta one time, and he called me and he was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What are you coping with? And I denied it. Oh, my mom bought like this. It's fine. But then it's realizing that my mother passed down the generational curse of her being burned out. So I'm up here excusing the behavior just because she's not here to defend herself, but knowing that my mother had a lot of tasks to do for herself. And so she did the same thing. She was burned out. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it to cover it up. All right. I know some people talking about, well, I like options and I like this. I can guarantee you a good number of us who have all these things in our possession, I think, now, don't get me wrong. I like my bags too. I like being able to, get a bag here and there. And I like, the variety of lotions, and I like the things too. But when it comes to a point, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to a point like, yes, I probably didn't need this. Or yeah, I definitely overspent in this area. So ask yourself, what is the one thing that you probably overconsumed and have you used? Like, I have products that I have not used. Now, there's some that I will use, and there's some that I'm just going to give away. I've already started purging, and that includes an extensive shoe collection. I like shoes like the rest of them, but again, as opposed to me saying to myself, like, am I going to really wear this and all that other stuff, asking myself, did I want this? So in that, when you're when you hit rock bottom and trying to reconfigure your finances, you got to ask yourself, like, okay, do I need to go back to this habit? Absolutely not. So the best thing that you can do in terms of cutting out the thing that is your source of burnout, you also got to cut out the thing that makes it easy for you to do all those things in, access. That might mean, you might have to delete the app, okay? That might mean you need to get off Afterpay and Klarna and Zips and stop using it. That might mean you need to put those credit cards up for a little while. That might mean you need to unsubscribe from all those ads. That might mean you need to get your butt off social media and stop scrolling and stop listening to all these influencers about what you should buy here and what you should buy here. Now, every now and again, I find myself, watching a few influencers. I'm in a phase where I kind of need to reconfigure my makeup because I am getting older. But nonetheless, so I am looking for different makeup tools, primarily foundation. As you age, the skin gets a little drier, and that's where the wrinkles kind of comes in with, just drier skin. And so just being mindful of my skin, going to the lash tech girl, damaged my lashes. And that was another result of burnout. I was determined to get the money together to go for a lash install. And then I stopped going to her when all of a sudden I realized I spent $550 in 4 weeks to get 2 lash fills. And I said, oh no, sis. And then when I stopped getting my lashes done and looked at my lashes, girl, she tore my lashes up. I don't even think my lashes have even grown out. Okay. So needless to say, we are done with false lashes. Okay. And I'm going to be mascara girly, mascara down, unless I'm installing lashes myself. Okay. That is the only way I will get back in some lashes. And that's the other thing that you need to just be mindful of. What are some things that you can do on your own? And what are some things that, that some help will be beneficial? So as you can see, I am a nail girly. I am not a press-on person. Okay. I'm not a press-on person. I like the feeling of having my feet massaged, so I am a pedicure person. That is probably the only thing I will splurge on is nails, pedicure. That's the only thing. Lashes I could do at home, waxes I could do at home. I really only get my hair done maybe once a month. And then half the time I could do it myself. I can actually go a couple of months because the only thing I can't do and won't do is trim my own hair. And so everything else I can actually do. But my eyebrows, right now, they are powdered on, but I am thinking about making the investment on permanently tattooing my eyebrows. So it'll be the one thing that I don't have to ever worry about. Invest once and you don't have to look back. So that's just kind of the aspect of spending. So in this whole burnout recovery series, if you are fighting burnout, I want you to, as you are just trying to separate yourself from the thing that is causing you a bunch of stress and a bunch of turmoil, I also want you to think about the thing that you used, or what did you use to cope with burnout? And like I said, mine was just going shopping into Ulta, buying shoes, thinking I needed it, and I ain't got no space. I'm just gonna keep it real. I ain't got no space in my new place. I don't have the space. So yeah, it's going to be donation of shoes, donation of products. And that's not to say that I don't enjoy going into Ulta and Sephora. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because I like smelling good. I like looking good. I do. I like looking good. It's a confidence booster. I definitely think women over 40, 100%, should, if you haven't really had the opportunity to invest in your look, especially if you're over 40, I highly recommend that you do that. Right now, I'm only looking like this because it's laundry day and it's over 100 degrees outside and I'm not going anywhere. I'm doing laundry. But definitely, yes, invest in your looks, invest in your skin, invest in your teeth, invest in the things that, help with confidence, right? I firmly believe looking good, smelling good makes you feel good, makes you feel successful. That's a must, but you could do it on a decent budget. Go into Burlington Coat Factory. Burlington Coat Factory actually was the place that I went to often to get all my work clothes. 100% when I was fresh out of undergrad. That was, cute little dresses, cute little sandals, some slacks, appropriate work attire. You don't have to go to, Macy's to go get clothes. Now, I'm a department store girly too. So, but I like the Dillards. I like the Macy's. I like the Nordstroms. Zara every now and again to me is hit or miss. Aritzia, same thing, hit or miss. So I prefer the department stores, but Burn to Go Factory is the cheat code. Okay, it's the cheat code for just anything that you are looking to buy. But as you're separating yourself from the thing that burns you out, I definitely want you to be mindful of how you've been coping. And for me, mine was for sure shopping and shopping excessively. And mine I think was probably compounded with some grief in there, because every time I would go into Ulta and every time I go into Sephora, it would remind me of my mom. And actually, going beauty shopping was one of the last major things my mom and I did before she transitioned. And so, there's a lot of connection there, and it's just realizing that, you need a healthier way to cope. And as it stands right now, I'm not going now because it's hot as hell outside, literally. But just taking walks where I live now, I absolutely love. And so it is a walkable city. And I love that. And so just taking walks, and just taking breaks, taking vacations. If you have the time to do that, if you have the time and the finances, sometimes you might need a staycation. If you just need to stay in the house, stay in the house, or stay home. And it's just it's all about finding manageable and healthy ways to cope. And that is super important in recovering from burnout. So continue on this journey with me with just kind of breaking through burnout. So hope this helps. Feedback is welcome. If you want more information about just burnout and just how to cope through that, just let me know. So eager to see your comments. Have a good day.